This sequence is entirely shot from the perspective of the fox, the key character on which the plot hinges. The sequence acts as a cold open to the movie, playing before the main titles. This technique is common in many films, both large budget and small independent productions. The shot itself is depicted as a point of view from the fox. Although humans are usually the ones whose point of view is shown, it is sometimes used to show the point of view of an animal, for example, a wolf following the scent of its prey. A technique similar to this can be seen on The Simpsons episode, Bart's Dog Gets an F, where the point of view from the dog Santa's little helper is seen. This is, however, an animated show as opposed to live action. The second shot in the film is similar to the intro sequence in that it acts as a POV shot. However, at this point the animal is deceased and the camera is merely acting as a focal point for the two characters on screen. The two characters are placed in the foreground and background respectively. I would have liked to include an effect where the camera focus shifted from one character to the other when delivering their lines. This is a very common and effective technique, however, I was not aware of how to achieve it at the time of filming. This quick shot portrays the inner monologue of Ryan. In this case, he is laughing hysterically at his own joke inside his head. Inner monologue is not commonplace in film, but it has been depicted on screen on various occasions. Inner monologue is occasionally used in comedy as a device for laughs, and is again used in The Simpsons, where the character of Homer converses with his own mind. This shot uses foreground and background character placing again, and takes a spin on the over-the-shoulder shot. It serves as a kind of development over the shot, and keeps both characters' faces on screen. This shot is used to re-reveal the antagonist. I would have liked to use the focus blur again here, however I was still not able to achieve this effect. The next scene features a simple shot reverse shot. It goes from one character to the next, portraying conversation, and in this case, a reaction to an activity. This is a fairly generic shot used as a general convention for conversation portrayal. The next shot is a personal favourite of mine. It depicts the action initially happening away from the camera and moving towards it. This type of long shot has been used in some action films, as it can portray a lot of action all on screen at once. I came up with the idea to use this shot after watching an episode of The Cleveland Show. The episode satirizes the shot, making fun of the fact that it is used in many action films. This title appears mid-movie in order to show a passage of time. This was mostly included due to not having enough film of the particular scene. However, I think it adds a little extra humour to the film by breaking away from the action. This challenges some conventions for time passage where real-time or continuity editing would be used. The 1994 film Clerks uses titles in the middle of the film to give the audience some insight into the scene, something which is very uncommon in the film industry, especially with comedy. I believe that this sequence is a creative way of passing time by showing several actions being performed. I attempted to emulate a similar scene in the film Hot Fuzz, where the characters are gearing up to fight. The scene is similar to a montage, but takes place much faster without passing as much time. Breaking the fourth wall is a practice in which a character breaks away from the action of the film in order to directly address the audience. This technique most likely draws influence from the character monologues depicted in the works of Shakespeare. The character speaking addresses the audience in order to give them a plot detail that the other characters do not know, or a comment or remark that is not heard by other characters. In the case of A Dead Fox Says Nothing, this has been used for comic effect, where two characters turn towards the camera after likening their situation to the plot of a bad movie. This device was commonly used on American sitcom Malcolm in the Middle, where the main character would turn and face the camera to address the audience. The poster features some aspects that are very similar to that of an existing movie poster. As is the norm, this poster has the full cast and crew credits in a tall, thin font at the bottom of the page, and credits the main actors at the top. It is the use of image that sets my poster apart. Where most would use an image from the film, or a photo shoot, I have used a silhouette of one of the characters as my focal point. I have stayed safe with a colour cohesion of red, white and black, which are the three most used colours in graphic design, which I believe makes the image easier to view. Although it appears fairly conventional as a poster, it should be noted that the poster is for a comedy film, something which is not made immediately apparent, as would some ancillary media. The article uses a similar colour scheme throughout, which allows it to be viewed as a whole as opposed to having a big mess of colour. This is conventional in magazines, with articles being given a specific style, or the magazine as a whole having a house style. My article has been branded with a magazine name and given its own spot in a feature. It is likely that a real magazine would include certain features each week. I have also challenged some conventional practices used in articles. First, by including a miniature review within the article itself, something I feel my magazine would include as its niche. My article title is also spread across the bottom of the page, as opposed to at the top. I have, however, included a drop capital to avoid confusion over where the reading should start.